Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today, let's take a look at solar power and what you can do with it. We do install some battery backups and they are solar powered. We don't use the trickle charger because we know that solar power, especially here in Florida, we've got so much sunlight, not today, but we've got so much sunlight that it's much easier for us to charge those batteries. But let's take a look. I just posted the video about 12 volt DC pumps versus 120 volt AC pumps. So this might be a little follow-up. Let's take a look. Up here on the roof, you can see the array of solar panels. And I'm up here on a cloudy day because it's a galvanized roof, really bright during, when it's sun shining. So it also gets very hot. But we've got each of those far panels are 100 watts. So there's 1, 2. This array is from Harbor Freight, and that's 50 watts. This array is also from Harbor Freight, but it's 100 watts. So we've got 100, 200, 300, and 345 watts of power. And roof needs clean, but you can see the wires come down, they go all the way down, and they go underneath of the office. So, this is a great project, and I've slowly acquired the solar panels, not in any hurry. I've got room to expand and go all the way down the roof if I wanted to, but it works really good. I power all of the lights here on the property, including the lights inside the office, as well as behind the property where we have our tiny house. It's a guest house and another RV. All the lights come from this solar array. So let's go look at the batteries. Yes, I could put it in conduit. I've just got them all secured together. They all come down. They go down underneath of the office, under this deck. And let's go look at those batteries so you can see what goes where and how it works. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batteries down here. These are all marine batteries. And I have them marked. I actually have an apartment that I rent out. So we've got that, one battery just for that apartment. And we've got the solar power comes to the battery and then goes back to the solar controller. Where it says rear, these are the property lights in the back, and they power the tiny house as well as the RV. And then we've got roof. What that means is this is all going to the out front, where I've got 50 watts of bulbs plus a spotlight, and I just installed another 10 watt lamp that I have on the porch with its own switch. So in order to do all this, you've got to have the solar powered panels. Solar panels, they bring power to the batteries and keep them charged all the time. And the more power you can put to your batteries, the faster they'll recharge. It's just that simple. So let's go ahead and look inside. Okay, so all those wires that you saw coming from the roof and the solar panels, they all go down, below the office, and we brought them up through the floor. And I haven't really mounted anything here yet, but you get the picture. These are solar controllers. They're 30 amps each. And right now, even with no sun, we've got a separate set of panels up there producing 13.9 volts. And then we've got, this is the main one. And if you look closely, you can see the little arrow from the solar panel going to the battery. And then you can see the arrows going out to the light. And we have a smiley face right there on the battery. And this one says 13.3 volts, even on a cloudy day. The bottom one is my backup controller, and it is connected, but it is just a backup so that if this guy fails, this one will kick on. So pretty simple stuff. I mean, it's in the back of these things is marked red and black, positive, negative. Real simple to. So if you're a subscriber, you probably remember this video where we just put in the power to go out to the front sump pump. What we're doing is putting in a fountain, and we'll maybe do a wall of water. This is a rural property. This is our office, and we can do a lot of things out here that perhaps you couldn't do in the city, but I don't see why you couldn't. It's all the same, right? But solar power, those panels, 345 watts of solar panels, come down to 8 batteries, and they power all the lights of the office, as well as, let's take a look, as well as these outdoor lights. There's 5 posts out here, and on this end of the office, from those 2 windows and maybe from the tree, that's an efficiency apartment that we rent out. and they actually watch our property, which is really nice when we're not here. But you see that security camera? That's run by the solar power as well. There's so many things. Whoops, sorry. There's so many things that you could run off. Quite difficult to run major appliances. I was able to run my air conditioner when I had the panels on the old van. You know, I had 100 watts up on the top of the roof, and a small air conditioner. It started at 600 watts. That's what it took to start the AC. But after it started, it would run, you know, forever, as long as we had sunlight. Then if we were at night trying to use it in the evening, running off of the batteries, I had 2 batteries, it ran about maybe 30-40 minutes, and it would just run the battery down. So again, major appliances, tough to do. You can, of course, there's lots of homes. California is going big on this, Texas, you know, all the southern states, here in Florida as well. You can definitely get huge amounts of battery and be able to power everything in the home. In fact, produce enough electricity to sell it back to the power company. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to go green and have some fun. Teach some people. If you're a subscriber, maybe you've seen some of the videos where we were building the tiny house, and you know, all the power, the wiring that we put in. Let's take a look. If you remember what I showed you where our battery banks are, there are 2 batteries that are marked rear, and they bring all the power back here. Let me show you. Those 2 batteries that are marked rear, that's a good distance from here, but they power these lights as well as the lights in the tiny home and the shower house. Let me get over there where you can see it. They power the shower house lights as well. They also power all the lights inside the RV. But you can see how far we are from the office. I mean, I'm 200 feet from there, and it still goes back. So 300 feet of low voltage wire, and it works great for lights. Will it power back AC? Here in the very, very back, you're going back to the tiny house, I actually have these Christmas lights, and they are also powered by the battery. You can see they're actually, it's 120 volt regular wire with plugs, but you just make that adapter to run to the DC. Inside the tiny house, also powered by the solar lights or solar power. Inside the shower house, you see that light, all powered by those batteries. Let's look inside the tiny house real quick. So in here, just kind of using it for storage right now, but we do have, you know, the AC, and of course we have a small refrigerator in here as well. There is 120 volt power that comes out here, but all the lights come from the batteries. It's all 12 volt, all 12 volt. So again, what a great project. If you are interested in going green and trying to do something that will help cut costs on the power, try the solar panels and batteries. Your investment's a little bit high. Those solar panels, you know, that many solar panels up on the roof, got about 400 bucks. The batteries, just call them $100 a piece, so there's 800, plus all your wires and your fixtures. But they've been running for nearly 2.5, almost 3 years. And again, powering so many things. Again, I hope you guys subscribe if you're the first time coming to the channel, because there's so much more here than drainage. I showed you guys a video of how to build a waterfall, and here on that structure there, all of that, I tried to put a DC pump out here, but it works, but it doesn't come out fast enough. So, you know, I tried that, and again, I showed you out front how well the 12 volt pump works, and it does pump water, but just not enough to do much of any value. Perhaps if you had an area that you had cattle or horses, you needed to, you know, transfer water, it would be great. But to remove water or pump it quickly, so you can see even here in the bathroom, let me turn these off. Even here in the bathroom, these recessed ceiling lights, this is all solar power. Yes, I do have regular power here because, you know, you want to have both. So this light, whoops, that light is, of course, you know, 110, but most of it here is solar power. And of course, we have a shower for everybody to use when they come back if they're dirty. So again, hope you enjoyed a small, you know, tour of solar power here at Apple Drains at our office. We are located just outside of Orlando. We service Georgia, Alabama, all of Florida, and then we have an office as well in Charlotte, North Carolina, serving, you know, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. we've expanded quite a bit. So if you're in those areas, you'd like us to come out for a drainage project, let us know. Don't forget about live help, video consultation via Skype or FaceTime or any app, WhatsApp, Messenger, any of those apps, they work great. Can easily answer any question you have about drainage, help you with project planning, materials, possibly even help you find some labor, depending on where you are. And Merry Christmas! Happy New Year 2020. Can you believe it? 2020. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.